Yeah. All right. How we doing? How we feeling? End of an era for the UFC and the Ultimate Fighting Championship and their relationship with ESPN and vice versa. The UFC, the worldwide leader. The relationship ends tonight at UFC Vegas 112, the main event. Brandon Royval versus Manel Kape. Big fight at 125 pounds. We lost arguably the second best fight on the card. A little while ago, Jillian Robertson versus Amanda Lemos is off the event. And that is a bummer. And it's a good thing that Petr Yan won the Bantamweight title. Otherwise, I would have lost our fantasy league. So I still had Jillian Robertson tonight, but since she's not competing, that would have been a bummer. But yeah, so that fight is off. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about some of the other things going on in the world of MMA. It's the final People's Pre-Fight show for the UFC and our UFC coverage for this year. So let's get after it. Of course, the Super Chatters get pushed to the top of the list. And all right, let's go. Herman, last UFC event of the year, last ever UFC on ESPN event. Hopefully we go out with a bag. That would be nice. Joseph got to be devastated about Jillian. I think a lot of people are devastated about Jillian. That was a great fight. That was a very good fight. Let me see what we have information-wise on that. Let's see what's going on. I think we might have some updates. Let me see what we got in here. Let's see. Something happened. I'm not really sure. Some kind of so she posted an Instagram video, and she has something on her upper lip, I guess you could say. She points it out. And according to our own Guilherme Cruz, the Brazilian Beast, she mentions February 7th as a possible date to rebook this matchup, which would be back at the world's most famous Apex. Because why put a pivotal fight in a division between top 10 contenders anywhere else but the friggin' Apex? But I guess that will be UFC Vegas 113. I don't know if that's 100% the case, but that's what Amanda Lemos is saying. Apparently that is what her team is telling us as well. So that's a bummer. Really think it's a bummer. But let's see what happens. What's going to happen with Dern, seeing as Zhang got big sister? Does Zhang go back for her belt? Does she stay in her new weight class? Zhang's going back down. She's going to be the champion probably in the first half of 2026. The one thing that could have helped in this situation was if Jillian Robertson went out there and just clobbered Amanda Lemos, which I would have picked her to do. Maybe she slides in there if Dern wants to get back in there relatively quickly. But I think if you're the UFC right now, and I know Dern's coach has talked about this as well in some interviews, Jason Perillo, that they want Zhang. And I mean, at this point, she won the belt. She's the champion. People counted her out, didn't think it would happen. Go fight Zhang. She will forever be known as a UFC champion. So go fight Zhang. If somehow she wins that fight, I mean, that's just massive. But no matter what she does, and I think she's smart enough to realize this, there are people out there who are going to say, like, she's not the real champion because she didn't beat Zhang. She beat Brandon Jandiroba. I don't think that's the case at all. Zhang went up. She vacated her belt. She's the champion. But now that Zhang lost to Valentina, she's got to go back. She's got to go back. I just don't think 125 is going to be is good for her. She needs to take a lot of time to bulk up and hit the weights, and I don't think she has that kind of time right now. So go back to 115. She fights Dern. She's going to be like a minus 400 favorite in that fight. So even with the win, does Brandon Royval get a title shot? He has a loss over Josh. No. Brandon Royval is not in the discussion right now. If Kape wins, maybe he slides in there. Maybe. But I don't think. I mean, you just can't give it to Royval right now. Fought for the belt not that long ago. Lost in a pretty convincing fashion. Yes, he beat Brandon Moreno. Yes, he beat Tyro, which is a good win. But he just lost to Josh Van. So I don't know. Maybe, now that I wrote it all down, maybe it's out of the realm of possibility. But this will be if Royval gets it, it's because they want Van to fight, and Royval is the only guy available because he will not be the first phone call. He's not the first choice. It's just not. He's just not in that position right now. Duke, with a win here, what do you think about Amosov versus Covington? ATT's revenge on Colby. I mean, be a great fight, or an interesting fight. But Colby's not gonna fight Yaroslav Amosov. You kidding me? No chance that fight happens. LFC DJ1, thank you. Appreciate you all at MMA Fighting. Hope you all have a great holidays going out. The Apex is peaking. ESPN era UFC, 100%. And Michael Bisping's doing the commentary, doing color. So yeah, sweet. It's gonna be great. I know Sanko's there, so hopefully it balances out. But the last time Bisping and Sanko were on together, Bisping didn't let Sanko say anything. So hopefully, hopefully they even each other out a little bit. Michael, Mike, are you riding with me on round 3 Magny plus 2,500? Let's go. Thanks for all you do. Thank you. I'm just going straight Neil Magny today. I got a really good price on him, so I'm taking a shot. Amosov's been out for a while. The last time we saw him, he got dummied by Jason Jackson. And like you can make a convincing case right now that Neil Magny, if he beats Neil Magny, that will be Amosov's best win. I know a lot of people point to the Douglas Lima fight, and it's hard to say because this was the beginning of the downfall for Douglas Lima. It was kind of like right in the middle of that moment, and I was at that fight. Douglas Lima was just run over. So yeah, but you can still make a case because of what Magny has accomplished, the wins Neil has, that this would be his best win. And I think Neil can beat him. I think he can. But we'll see. I could be wrong. I've been wrong. Lord knows I've been wrong a bunch. So, and I'm happy to be wrong again. Having lived through the DAZN launch, how far into 2026 do we get before we see a return to pay-per-view for special events? I say July. What, for the UFC? No way. No. There's just no. They're getting set. They're getting over $1 billion a year. There's no need to do pay-per-view. They didn't need to do pay-per-view with ESPN. Like, to me, that all screams that this is like an ESPN decision to do pay-per-view. The UFC doesn't care. They didn't care about how many pay-per-views they sold. I mean, if you sold 1 million, great, you get a piece of that pie. But like, they're getting a floppity jillion dollars just to give them the rights to air it. So pay-per-view didn't matter to the UFC, and I just think the whole thing is. I just don't think that there's no fight the UFC can make right now that they would chart that. If you're giving people this for $10 a month, and then 7 months later you're going to charge $85. Like, what is a fight right now that the UFC can put on pay-per-view that people will accept that after this whole deal and them saying no more pay-per-views? Pretty crazy. So I say they don't go back. I know Dana has teased it, and I think it's kind of smart on his part, but I just don't know what they have right now. Like Ilya Islam is probably that's probably the biggest fight they can make. I mean, maybe it's Jones Pereira, depending on who you ask and who you talk to. But I think amongst like the hardcore fans, I think people would be more into Ilya versus Islam because at least there's a little bit of intrigue there. I kind of feel like most people know how John Jones versus Alex Pereira would go, but I don't know. Mike, who in the current UFC top 5 would you choose Vadim Nemkov to beat? Let's take a look. Let's see. Who would I pick Nemkov to beat at heavyweight? No, no. Maybe I would pick Aspinall. I would pick Gon. Volkov is tough. I I would pick him to beat Pavlich, I think. Blades would be a tough one, and Waldo's such a wild card, I don't know. But I think he could beat a couple of guys. Yeah, pray for Rhode Island. I think Jose is actually in Rhode Island right now, and everything going on at Brown is going on right down the street from where he's at right now, I believe. So yeah, prayers up for the neighbors, pretty much. I'm in Massachusetts right now, so Rhode Island not that far from where I'm at. Trevor Dale, Emma's up by Anaconda Darce round 2, maybe, maybe. Might see Volk in the Street Fighter trailer. Pretty sick as Joe. Yeah, man, good for him. He looks good. Is tonight's Cops coming out party? I don't know. Like I don't know how you. I don't know. I think he's pretty. I think he's kind of out there already. I guess. Like people are so pumped. I know I was pumped. Like Casey and I were waving the Mid Cop flag for quite some time here at MMA Fighting. In fact, for those who were here, like when I first got here and we launched the What the Heck show, like I made it a mission to get Manel Cop on as soon as he signed with the UFC. I think we were the first interview he did after he officially signed with the UFC. I believe that was episode 3 of What the Heck. And what a different time that was. So, and I think people were kind of just waiting for that guy that came over from Horizon. And I think you saw that in the Berto Silva fight in Tampa. I mean, that was the medal cop everyone was fired up about. That was the one when he signed with the UFC. We were like, yes, that is the dude. That's the guy. And then he went out there and just kind of beat the hell out of Almabayev as well. So, yeah, I mean, I think he's kind of running out of chances here. So I think he really needs this one. I think he really needs this one. And spoiler alert, I think he is going to win today. Masters, I love that Cub Swanson is behind Giga Chikadze. Says a lot about Giga wanting to learn from Cub, even though he got the win over him. I hate seeing that replay. Cub is doing well as a coach too. He is. I'm a big Cub Swanson fan. He's the best. He's a great dude. Uh, One of my favorite fighters to interview. Just so much knowledge. The dude has been through it all, and he's just been around for so long, and still is getting really good wins. I mean that his fight at UFC Tampa against Billy Q was sick. Like it's such a sick fight, and that might be his last one. Who knows? A lot of comments here. All right, good. That's what we like. How real is Ortega Moicano 2? I will say that if it doesn't happen, I will be surprised right now. Like we haven't like fully confirmed it, but um seems like this is where we're going here. Um so I'll leave it at that. There's not much more I could say about it, but because we haven't like fully 100% confirmed it, but I've obviously talked to some folks and there's smoke to the fire. I will say that. Dalton, pay-per-view for Paramount, who overpaid, mark my words. I think they're gonna do pretty damn good, man. I think they're gonna get so many subscriptions, like a ton. You know, Jed's talked about it. I've had people reach out that like I used to watch UFC events with like long ass time ago who haven't watched in forever because you know how the fan cycle goes. It's up and down. It goes in waves. It's like you come in, you get into it, and then like 2, 3 years later, you're out altogether. And then maybe some big fight or some big event can bring you back in. But one of the things that's going to bring people back in is the numbered events being 9.99 a month. Like that's so big. It's so big. So no, I don't think they'll feel like they overpaid. And it seems like those running that conglomerate right now have FU money forever and ever. So hearing last minute rumors that Amazon versus Magny is off as well. What? God, I hope not. I should probably, you know what? Now you're gonna make me do it. Now you're gonna make me do it. Oh no! Now there's other people saying it. All right, now, damn it, lazy. Now you put me to work. Now you're putting me to work. If I could find the information that I seek. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. All right, let's figure this out. Let's figure this out. Bear with me. Bear with me. Sorry for the awkward silence. Okay, isn't this beautiful? Like we let me let the folks that I work with know that I'm reaching out to some folks. We shall see. Check your Slack, Mike. Yep, checked it. Oh no. Oh boy. All right, bear with me. I got to mute for a sec. Okay, I got nothing. Sorry. So I was given a number for somebody that may know, and I just got a call from that number, and yeah, I don't know what that just was. Sorry, I was hoping to come back with some great information here, but I got nothing for you. I'm sorry. That was just a very weird phone call. That was a very weird phone call. I think I was getting like some scam action there. I don't know what the frig is going on. I mean, I'm looking at some story action here. It looks like he was like shaking out 2 hours ago, but I don't know. That'd be a bummer, man. Joseph, how dare you? Do not put this juju out into the world. Don't do it. Don't do it. We're just trying to make sure, trying to dot the I's and cross the damn T's. I don't know what the hell's going on. Dude. Yeah, God, it's fun while this is all going on. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes I say like, "Hey, we might confirm some stuff like as it's happening," and then we do. But this time did not really work out. So um, I'm gonna keep trying for you. I'm gonna keep asking some folks, and we'll see if we can figure this out together as friends. I mean, for the last People's Pre-Fight Show of the year for the UFC, like, wouldn't this just be fun? PFL Lion was a fun card, but man, that Adaguzil stoppage was real bad. TKO stoppage against Gara. Yeah, I saw the clip. Wasn't great. Um, I mean, the problem with like those cards and like Jusette getting melted was interesting. Didn't really like fully see that coming, honestly. The two big fights where we knew 100% what the result was going to be. Chris Cyborg, I mean, just crushing Sarah Collins, like everybody saw that coming. And then Vadim Nemkov just absolutely running head in for head, which everybody saw coming. So I don't know. Someone asked earlier about Cyborg calling out Dakota. I don't know how I feel about this, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's a little doo doo because Dakota has a fight and she is gonna crush Denise Killholz. Don't you? I mean, I'm not here to say otherwise. She is going to smash Denise Killholz. Um, I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, we'll see. We're working it out. I'm asking a bunch of people. Hopefully, we get an answer. And that's that. What other fights in the Paul Joshua card should we be paying attention to? I mean, I think the main card is going to be okay. Uh, Obviously, Anderson versus Tyron is the one I'm looking forward to. I mean, just as an MMA fan, because I just never thought I'd see that fight. And it might not be like the most thrilling affair, but I will be watching. As a matter of fact, there will be an interview dropping, I believe, Monday. A quick one. I got about 10 minutes with Anderson Silva, who is always just a joy to speak with. So I spoke with him. I believe, like I said, I believe that's dropping Monday. So I might have to step in tonight. I mean, look, man, I'm ready. Uh, All right, there's a lot happening here, I think, but I need to be a million percent sure before I say anything. And it's just, why does this have to happen while I'm doing the damn show? I wish I wish I had some co-hosts for this. to be to be honest. What else we got? Expect 45 minutes of filler to start the broadcast. Hold on. Hold on, folks. Let's try this again. Okay. Okay. Uh, hello. How are you? Yeah. So I muted you. Sorry, because I don't want to have somebody's voice. So the person I just spoke with, who I believe is the manager of Yaroslav Amosov, is telling me that the fight is happening. So I I I don't know. Okay, he's telling me that it's happening. So apparently there was talks about it not happening, and then there was proof that it was. So I'm as confused as you are. So that's where we're at right now. The person I just spoke to, who I believe is Amosov's manager, uh, is saying that the fight is happening. But it apparently seemed like at one point it wasn't. So we're going to have to find out when this broadcast starts. What a friggin' wild show this is. Now let me let. I don't know what the hell's going on. AI says Neil Magny's upcoming fight with Yaroslav Amosov on December 13th has not been canceled. Okay. But Lazy, I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know. I don't know. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I've spoken to this gentleman on social media. And I've confirmed other information in regards of Amosov signing with the UFC on social media with this person. This person also gave me his number, uh, which I texted while we were doing the show and said, "Is this fight still happening?" I got some sent over, which confused me. And then he just called, and I just texted him again. He just called me again and said, "No, the fight is happening." So, but again, I'm confused by all this. I'm trying to do some stuff for you guys. I see some people getting mad. So Hank is really annoying me right now. But yeah, we'll find out in a sec. Might have to put him on in the box for a second. Yeah, we're throwing him in timeout. Mike, do you think they just treat this cancellation like a win for Jillian or give her someone like Verna? No, I think they're going to rebook it. At least that's what's being said right now. So, but we're going to find out in a minute. We're going to find out what is happening in a second. I'm trying my best here. I'm trying to get you whatever I can with all of this. So, but just think about like how much there's more drama on the beginning of the prelims than there ever has been. But now the broadcast has just begun, and we're gonna find out. I'm gonna take a gander at Neil Magny's social media and see if he is saying anything. Oh, wait a second. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Is Cena going to win his last match, or will he put over Gunther? Yeah, he will probably put over Gunther, and I expect it to be terrific. Brennan Fitzgerald, Morosenko, Michael Bisping. Hoping we get something here. Gunther is minus 250. That's incredible. That is incredible. JK, what card of the prelims are you low-key excited for? Watching first. Ooh, what is the first fight? What is the first fight? That's a great question. If it's a heavyweight fight, if it's one of the heavyweight fights, then we will. I'll do it. It's Teresa Bleda versus Jamie Lynn Horth. But hey, we're gonna stay here together until the first fight begins. So Mike is the number one Bisping hater. I'm not. I just want the man to like learn the rules. I want this man to learn the rules of the game. Like, you are on the broadcast all the time. You should know the rules. You should know how scoring works. You should know how referees are supposed to act in fights. Like, his knowledge just needs to be better. It needs to lay out. Like, he needs to learn more about. He needs to be more Paul Felder. That's what he needs. But yes, we're getting a lot of promo stuff. This is fine. This is the Stuart Scott annual tribute stuff, which is great. Stuart Scott, if you are not a big sports fan or didn't or are a sports fan and didn't watch Sports Center and watch sports and watch highlights during the Stuart Scott era, dude was the best. I mean, just truly the best. And don't you know, I'm not saying his technique is bad. I'm not saying he was a bad fighter. He's a great fighter. But he doesn't understand how to score fights. Like when you hear him on the broadcast, he does not know how to score fights. He does not know the rules. That's my issue with Bisping. He does not know the rules. The current state of the rules. And I say the same thing about others too. Dominic Cruz has been that way for a long time. Even DC. I mean, it seems like DC on a weekly basis forgets the rules or scores fights horrifically. So I mean, it's just one of those things. And I'm not hating on Mike, but there are certain cards where he's just awful. He's just real bad. And if you put him on a card with like another A personality, it's horrible. Like you put him on with Cruz or DC, it's rough. Hopefully Sanko can like reel him in a little bit. All right, we're looking at the card right now. Let's see here. Let's see. There's the main card. We're about to find out. We're about to find out. There's the main card. Let's go. Come on. We want the prelims. Get us to the prelims, Brendan. I can't believe Kennedy Chichuku, Marcus Buchecha's on the main card. Cannot believe it. That's where we're living in. Come on, give me the prelims, bro. Oh no, we're just getting the main card treatment. What is happening? All right, so now we're getting some highlights. So hopefully we go back and we get some answers here. I prefer Fitzgerald and Gooden to Anik. Wow, I can't stand Anik against Robot Voice and Creepy Laugh. I think John's incredible. So I can't. I don't agree with you, but I respect your opinion. I do think Fitzgerald's great. I think John's great too. Gooden. I think Gooden is incredibly underrated. I would like to see him do more. I think Fitzgerald's fantastic. He's such a pro. Fellow New Englander. Dude's the man. So they got Magny Amosov still on the card. It's still on the card. How about that? Oh, so now they just announced Lemos versus Robertson moving to March 14th. Okay. All right. And now here comes KB. Yeah, we lost Amanda, and that Lemos Robertson's off. Yes, that is off. UFC even confirmed that. Yeah, but Magny Amosov's still on the card apparently. But again, like even if it isn't, like it could go off tomorrow. Like who the hell? Like in the next 20 minutes, it could be off. Like we've seen fights get canceled seconds before. So I don't know. I don't know what the F is going on. March 14th. Yes. I don't know what that is. That is I believe it's going to be another Apex card. What is March 14th? What is March 14th? Let's see. March 14th is the Apex. We're back at the Apex. Just rush this or out forever to watch Bane. Completely agree with you. Could not agree with you more. Why is Kape such a big favorite? Is Royval hurt? No, I just think Kape is really good. And Royval can be good, certainly. But if we're getting the typical crazy man Brandon Royval, then this favors Midal Kape in a terrifically tremendous way. But will we get patience, Brandon Royval? Will we get I'm going to pick my spots and be slow and then pick up the pace later in the rounds? Perhaps that'd be the best way. That'd be the best way to go about it. What do we got at the desk? We got Dean Thomas. So friggin' festive up there. Dean Thomas, Alan Jobin, Rashad Evans, KB. There you have it. Rashad Evans is super. Golly, man. Terrific. Are you canceling ESPN Plus after tonight? I tried the other day, man. They wrote me back in for 3 more months. They knocked the price down to like $2.99 a month for the next 3 months. And I was like, you know what? I'll do it. They play a bunch of Bruins games on there, and like I don't want to buy the NHL package to watch the Bruins. So Bruins end up on ESPN Plus like once a week. So for $3 a month, I'll do it. Duke, for me, Jimmy Smith is the closest to a prime Joe Rogan. He knows how to guide you and gives you that vibe like you're watching with a friend. I am a huge Jimmy Smith fan. He's so good. He's good at everything he does. Like he is good at everything. Even the WWE, the quick cup of coffee over at WWE. He was great there too. For a guy that wasn't part of that world, did fantastic. Mackenzie Pavlich is the reporter backstage. I've met her a few times. She is very, very nice. She's very talented too. Good peeps. Royval and lose to killers. Kape ain't that guy. I don't know if that's true, man. If it just depends on what cop shows up, man. If it's the cop that shows up, the first two fights of his UFC run, yeah, Royval can win. But if we get the cop who fought his last two fights, the guy who won belts over in Ryzen, like that's the dude. The guy who has fun in there. Who showboats, he shines, goes a little crazy. So notice how Aaron Pico wasn't close to being a champion. The UFC rolled the red carpet for him, but Amosov, a guy that was a champion, defended it, gets put on the prelims and no promotion. Crazy. Yeah. Yeah, pretty wild. I mean, Pico has like star potential. Amosov has a terrific story, no doubt about it, but he doesn't have like star potential. Maybe he does. I don't know. But yeah, Pico's one of those guys. The super prospect has been forever. But this is one of those. This is one of those moments, right? If Amosov goes in there and just wrecks Neil Magny, it has a great showing. He taps him, does the Darce choke like somebody mentioned earlier in round 2. That'll do it. Like that'll put him in a great spot moving forward. Then they can put it. But like the fact that they're giving him Neil Magny right off the bat shows that the UFC does have interest in him. They want to test him and see what he's all about. They're not giving him, and it's according to the betting odds, it's an incredibly winnable fight. But they're litmus testing him right away. They're not just chucking him in there with, whoever the 40th ranked welterweight is right now. He's not fighting. I'm trying to think of somebody. Ramiz Brahimaj, who's on a nice run right now. But you know what? ESPN Plus isn't worth $3. Yeah, it's worth $3. It's not worth the $12.99 a month that I was paying before this big knockdown in price. Looks like we're about to have a fight, though. By the way, more criticism coming. Okay. How crazy this card on paper was blah, but there was some drama before they went live. Always love the drama, man. All right. I think we're good here. Do you know if Ronaldo's a free agent or if the UFC will re-sign him? Because it said months ago that his fight with Gustafsson was the last of his contract. It's a good question. It's a really good question. Are you ready for boxing at the Apex? I mean, honestly, like I would prefer boxing at the Apex over the UFC at the Apex. Boxing's kind of like a quiet sport a lot anyways, at least the ambiance, unless it's just a massive fight. But like MMA, it's not like unless you're in Japan watching it, it's not a sit on your hands type of sport where you just sit there and don't speak or don't say anything. Boxing, you get that a lot. So thank you, Brendan. I'll give you some quick picks before I get out of here. Do some bonuses real quick. Let me pull up all my stuff here. See what we're looking at. All right, bonuses. I'm gonna go. I'll go Almeida Oleksiejczuk fight of the night. I'm going. Or do I want to go somewhere else? I'm thinking long shot here with maybe Joe Anderson, Brito, Isaac Thompson. Like if that fight stays standing, that could get real fun. That could get real fun. I'll give Cop. Oh, well, the main event's the easy fight of the night pick, but I think Cop's gonna win pretty convincingly tonight. That's just kind of like the gut feeling I have. So I'll go Cop, and I'll go with Asplund because he's gonna get a first round finish. But like I think there's gonna be a bunch of finishes on this card, but I don't think they're gonna be like super fast. So, but let's go into the fun times here we have ahead. Let's go into the main card. Let's see what we are working with here. Do we even have lines on this friggin' fight? What are we doing here? Is there no line? Oh, there we go. All right, let's go with let's kick off the main card. Some lightweights or catch weights, if you will. King Green, the minus 185 favorite, taking on the debuting former Bellator fighter Lance Gibson Jr. comes back at plus 154. I think King Green gets the win. I think King Green gets a knockout in round 2. I like Lance a lot. This is probably the toughest fight of his career. I mean, I like Tokov a lot too, but yeah, I'll go with King with a KO in round 2. But good for Lance, man. I'm glad he signed. Glad he got the shot. Glad he's in there. Heavyweight action, we got Kennedy and Chichuku, the minus 120 favorite. Come back on Marcus Buchecha, plus 102. This could be the funniest fight of all time. But I'm going Kenny Nunchucks, gets a finish. Round 2. Go to the featherweights. Melky Costa, the minus 152 favorite. Come back on Morgan Sherrier, plus 128. Melky Costa by decision. That's what I'm going with. I think that fight's going to rule. It's going to be very, very fun. Just high level stuff. I don't know if it's going to be like knockdown, drag out, like guaranteed fight of the night kind of stuff. But I think for most of us in this room watching right now and have been here the entire show, I think this is one we'll appreciate for sure. Go to the middleweight division. We get Cesar Almeida, the plus 180 underdog, taking on Cezary Oleksiejczuk, the minus 215 favorite. I think this fight's going to be incredibly fun. They're going to beat the shit out of each other. I'm going to go with Oleksiejczuk sneaking it out with a little ground and pound TKO late in the fight to get it done. Co-main event, we have Kevin Vallejos, the minus 340 favorite, to come back on Giga Chikadze, plus 275. I think this is the end of the line for Giga, and he's going to kind of give Kevin Vallejos the rub on the way up. Vallejos, convincing decision. I don't think he gets a finish, but I think he wins like a clear-cut 30-27. And then in the main event, we got Manel Kape, big favorite, minus 290 the comeback on Brandon Royval, plus 235. I think Manel wins pretty convincingly. I'm picking him to get a finish in round 4. I think for someone asking, is this going to be Manel Kape's coming out party? Not for me, but I think for a lot of people who have doubts about Manel Kape and what he's accomplished and things of that nature, then I think this could be. I think this could be a coming out party for some people. So yeah, looking forward to this. I wish we were in the main card right now, honestly. But look, it's been a wild year. UFC 323 was fantastic. Had a great time. And you know what? This is like I said, and the UFC stuff actually as well. Birmingham. There you have it. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to see ours tonight. So good news. Appreciate you. We'll be back in the first fight. So Jed will join me. Do one more time here, and then yeah, get ready for 6 weeks off without the UFC, but plenty of MMA, plenty of fighting to get us through. So thank you all very much. Enjoy the fights, enjoy the festivities, and we'll see you one last time following UFC events in 2025 when it's all said and done. Peace out, everybody.